I'm Marilyn Chakota with Marilyn Chakota Coaching, and this is Jennifer Volman. Today we're going to cover a really common session that we do on the trainer through the wintertime or even just throughout the year is high cadence sessions. And this is a session that you're using to develop your pedal efficiency, you're developing your neuromuscular quickness, you're developing, sometimes you can use this in a recovery session even, and just really, it's not a high stress or high interval type session. It's just mostly really getting the feet turning over really fast, really smooth. So we're going to start Jennifer out here where she's going to just start spinning along. She's warming up. Say she's been warming up for a nice 10-15 minutes. The gearing is nice and light. So you're going to maybe even go down into your small chain ring. The whole point of this session is that the load is very, very light. So one of the mistakes I see made when people do high RPM sessions is that they have it in too big of a gear. And so then what happens is they target these higher RPMs, it becomes an interval session because now the watts are high and the heart rate gets higher and higher. When we're doing these sessions, it's really, really about turnover and really smooth pedaling. That's what we're after. So the gearing should be very light. So small chain ring, Jen's just pedaling along now. Hopefully we have a computer on your bike that tells you what your cadence is, and you might set something up where you do, a 10-15 minute warm up, and then we start maybe a pyramid where we go 30 seconds at 90 RPM, 30 seconds at 95 RPM, 30 seconds at 105, 110, 115. And the more experience you get, you might even get up to 120. And if you're in cycling, if you're a cyclist or even in track cycling, you might start to get into that 125, 130 RPM. That's very, very high for a triathlete. So as a triathlete, when you're doing these sessions, start in that 90 RPM range and make it your goal to get to about that 150 RPM range by the end of your pyramid. Start with short durations, so 30 seconds, 45 seconds, with rest in between. Maybe you're going half rest, so if you're going 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, and then build your way up to about 115 RPMs. So Jennifer's just going to demonstrate, what's your RPM at right now?
90.
90, okay, so nice and smooth. She's nice and relaxed in her upper body. I recommend that you do this in your hoods, so where her hands are, and sitting up nice and relaxed with the hands, nice and relaxed with the upper body. You can see she's nice and still with the seat. She's not, bouncing around or moving around very much. A nice smooth pedal stroke. So let's go ahead and we're gonna kick it up a gear and we're gonna go to 95 RPM. So as you see these RPMs increase, you're not going to see big changes. There's not going to be huge, drastic changes until we get into those higher RPMs later on. And the key is, if it starts to feel like an interval session where the heart rate's going up into threshold type zone or even VO2 max type zone, you're definitely in too hard of a gear. So you might find as you're going through this session, if you need to even click down into easier gears to keep the load very light, then go ahead and do that. Okay, let's go ahead and bring it up to 100 RPM. So increasing the RPM a little bit. And you can see Jennifer's a really skilled rider, so we're not seeing, as a rider, we're not seeing a lot of drastic change in her. And that's what we're after. We don't want to see a big drastic change. We want to continue to see nice, smooth pedaling. The body's nice and still and relaxed. She can relax her upper body and her arms a little bit more. No bouncing around on the saddle, no big movements in her upper body at all. Let's go ahead and kick it up to 105 RPM. So she's got a cadence monitor, she can see that, she's watching, okay, am I nice and relaxed at 105 RPMs? Maybe it's starting to become more challenging on what we call a neuromuscular level. In other words, it's getting harder to continue to stay smooth and move her feet that quickly. So there will become a point for every athlete that there's a breaking point, that it is more challenging for them to continue to pedal fast like that. The more skilled you are, the higher RPM that breaking point is. So go ahead, let's go up to 110 RPM. 110 RPM. That's it. Nice and smooth. Body's nice and still. We're not moving the body around very much. You can pick somewhere ahead to look at. The key is you're always relaxed in your hands, relaxed in your arms, upper body still, no bouncing on the saddle. And the feet are the primary focus, where your feet are getting faster and faster. And you can see she's not breathing hard at all. This is becoming challenging from a turnover standpoint, but not challenging on a cardio type standpoint. She's not breathing really hard. Okay, let's go ahead and kick it up to 115 RPM. And so you're starting to be able to see actually visually see her getting faster and faster with her legs. Same thing, she's not bouncing around on the saddle, upper body's nice and relaxed. Her grip on the handlebars should be nice and relaxed. Good. And let's go ahead and pick it up to 120. Good. So she's got a good ability to turn it over nice and fast, no problem. Really good coordination. There's a lot of coordination involved in the higher RPM stuff. She's still nice and smooth. There's no breakdown point in her pedal stroke at the moment. Good. Go ahead. Let's see what 125 looks like. Start to move around a little bit on the saddle and a little bit more, which is normal for as you get higher and higher RPM, you're going to start to see a little bit of movement. But if you start really thrashing around and bouncing and there's a breaking point for you, then that's probably your max RPM for you for now in your development. Now let's see what 130 looks like. 130. That's it. So if you've got a moment where you can really look at her feet, you can see how fast her feet are moving now compared to the beginning at 90 RPM, but the upper body still looks the same. She's still not breathing hard at all. She still looks really relaxed in her hands, her jaw, but her feet are moving very fast, very efficiently. Good. And we're going to go ahead and bring it way back down to 80 RPMs and just really, really relax. So you can see it, in order to achieve this effort level with that kind of fast turnover, the gear needs to be really, really light. Some people will try and do this workout in their aero bars. I don't really recommend that. I don't think we need to do that in your aero bars. I don't think you're gaining anything by doing that in your aero bars. Staying up in your hoods, really just focusing on the fast, light, efficient pedal stroke, and then just maintaining the relaxed, still upper body, no movement on the saddle. That's what we're really after. Cheers.